What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Rotech Gaming Podcast. My name is Carlos. This is Sean over here. And if you guys haven't, please hit that sub button. Help us out. How are you doing, man?
I'm a robot.
Beep, boop, beep, boop.
Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep. Okay. I'm doing good. Good. Yeah, so this is probably going to be our, I don't want to say last episode, but it's going to be like one of the, we probably won't have another episode out for a couple weeks or so. Me and Michelle, we're leaving for the Philippines in a couple days, so we're going to be gone for a couple weeks. Carlos is going to hold it down. He may or may not release content in my absence. I think he should. But yeah, if not, we'll pick it up where we left off. Around the time I get back, I think Last of Us is going to be starting pretty soon after that. Like end of March, right? And then like March,
I think
26,
so. Or
28.
April, beginning of April, maybe.
Yeah, but there'll be a lot to go over. There'll be a few things we want to cover in this episode, but just kind of like, you know, get one in before the vacacion, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, so you excited for your trip?
Kinda. I mean, do I love going to the Philippines? Yes. Is the reason why we're going kind of stressful? Yes. Because we're getting like our official, I guess you call it like an official ceremony. Like we're married, but we never had a ceremony. It was like a court Zoom wedding. So this will be an actual ceremony. A lot of people involved, a lot of stuff going on there. So it's just kind of like a little stressful in my mind. Even though like I probably don't really need to do anything. Like I don't have to contribute. I just have to show up, you know, and everyone is doing kind of everything for us in a sense. But it's just like, I don't know, man. I don't like it when people go out of their way to do stuff for me, you know? Like I always feel sort of like guilty or you know, like I try to keep to myself in a sense, and it's just like I don't mind if I have to go out of my way for people, but I don't like it when people go out of their way for me, you know? Like it is weird.
Weird.
So it's just like when everybody in the Philippines is like preparing for our wedding right now, and it's just like I'm not involved in any of that shit at all. So it's just weird, you know. It's weird to think of it that way, but it's also very like it's kind of cool and kind of humbling at the same time. So,
yeah, I think you're gonna be stressed out because I think Michelle's gonna be stressed out.
yeah, it'll be interesting, man. It'll be fun though. Like the first couple days will probably be kind of hectic and crazy. Once the ceremony's done, like once all of the the traditions and okay, this is what you do next, and then you have to do this, and then you have to do that. Like once we get through all of that, and just people can just like chill and just party, I think it's gonna be cool. I think it'll be cool after that. We'll be all right. We'll be all right.
Nice. Are you taking anything special out there, like your console, your handheld consoles?
I might take a couple of my little like emulators. I don't want to take my I don't think I want to take my Steam Deck out there or my ROG because like Philippines uses a different voltage for their power outputs. Like they use like a 210. It's like a 210 or a 240 or some crazy shit, or a 220. And like, I mean, I'm probably okay with the adapters I have because they're high voltage, like high amp ones anyways. But like I feel so shitty, bro, if I like fried my Steam Deck just bringing it out for a couple weeks. So I'll probably just bring some of my little baby emulators, you know, play some like some Super Mario or Legend of Zelda or something. But I'm probably not going to be doing a lot of just like gaming downtime. We're going to have a lot of family there. We're going to be moving around a lot. You know, try to hang out with my family there too. I didn't get to hang out with my uncle as much last time. And he owns like an ammo store and knows people at a shooting range in the Philippines, and I'm thinking of like maybe doing that one of the days or a couple days I'm out there. My cousins are gonna be out there too, so I'm gonna try to be like all family when they get out there.
That's good.
Yeah.
I was gonna say do like a tiny mini vlog, but I think you're gonna be too busy for that.
I mean, we'll definitely do some recording. Like we'll definitely have some like footage, but whether or not we incorporate that into the podcast, we'll see. Like It'll be mostly from an iPhone. So speaking of guns though, before we get into the next topic, so I know I've been talking about like showing the gun on stream. I have done some like upgrades to the gun. So I just want to show people real quick. Like this is kind of like what it looked like day one. Damn, that shit's like, how do I fix that? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, whatever. There
You
it
can
is.
send me the picture and I'll put
There
it
you
on
go. There you go.
screen.
There you
There
go.
you go.
Okay,
There
so
you
that's
go.
what it looked like day one. It's just like a plain basic black rifle, right? So I've done some upgrades.
Drum roll.
People are gonna hate on me, but this is what it looks like now.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's cool, right?
Yeah, the color scheme looks nice too.
I love the two-tone color scheme. Just for the camera, like it is empty, nothing in it, no rounds in it. Yeah, bro. I'm so excited to take this thing out shooting. You don't even know. I haven't even shot it yet, man. It just I'm doing the whole two-tone thing because I just like it. I was scared that I was gonna go overboard with just adding too many like extra colors to it, but I realized like the more like tan, it's called FDE, that's the actual color, but I realized like the more I add to it, the better it looks. So it's just like I want to put more and more. I haven't bought spray paint. So I might be spray painting parts, but yeah, I'm excited to take it out shooting probably after I get back from the Philippines, and then I can talk about that more after. But yes, sir.
For sure, man. I'm down to go with you. Just let me know when you go. I need to bring out my shotgun, see if it doesn't explode.
Use those shotgun shells that you just recently acquired.
Yes, sir. You know how to make the bullets go faster, right?
You just run. Do I have to do a Call of Duty like a diving shot, or is it like was a movie Wanted?
Now you gotta add some RGB to it, man.
RGB. Okay. I'm not putting RGB on my rifle. You could do that with your shotty.
Yeah.
Maybe I could put some reactive camo on there.
There you go. When it shoots the bullets, it changes color.
Yeah. All right. So what do you got going on, Carlos, before we get into it?
Nothing much, man. I just got off work a couple hours ago. Did a little bit of overtime because I need some money to buy that keyboard. So the good thing about working on Fridays is that overtime money goes on my next check. So I'll see that money sooner than later. So probably next Thursday when I get paid, I'll be ordering my keyboard.
Nice. That'll be cool. That'll be a fun thing to get into when I get back. Is like you can test drive it. We can talk about how you feel. You know, have you launched or catapulted yourself into the mechanical keyboard hobby?
Like the building yourselves.
Yeah. It's like, no, this is good.
Yeah, I don't think so. That is too time consuming for that. I don't got enough time. I'm too busy playing Marvel Rivals and then going to sleep.
All hobbies, bro. All hobbies are time consuming.
Yeah, I did continuing from last week when I was talking about how I'm watching the Marvel movies again, like the Avengers and stuff. So I watched Avengers Civil War last night, and the only thing I kept thinking when I'm watching these movies is I think that Marvel set the bar too high on these movies, and now they're underperforming because we're just so used to like not perfect but almost near perfect cinema when it comes to these movies, or at least like total enjoyment. And now like we're just picking apart like to death these movies on how bad they are, how much they don't make sense, and how characters aren't themselves anymore. And
it's true. It is hard to keep raising the bar when you're kind of like at the pinnacle, you know, like. And I mean, there were probably like better movies in between, you know, coming to Endgame, or even what was the one right before Endgame? Infinity War, yeah. So it's like it was still kind of peak, you know, like you had peaks and valleys, but you had like really high, like Himalayan Everest peaks and valleys, and now we have like, you know, Antelope Valley peaks and valleys, mountain high peaks and valleys.
Yeah, Antelope Valley with no antelopes. I never seen one. Have you seen one out here?
No, unfortunately. I've never seen palm trees in Palmdale either.
I think I have. I think
They're
they're
like
over by the auto mall.
they're like yucca trees. Are those? I guess they're palm trees because they're planted, but it's not natural.
Yeah, I mean, if you can put it in your palm, it's a palm tree.
Yeah, it's a tree in your palm. That's a tree palm, not a palm tree. We're lame, bro. What the fuck? What the fuck, Carlos?
I don't know, man. Can you tell we don't have content this week?
I can tell your ass just got off work an hour ago.
I know, man. Waking up at 4:20 in the morning, man. Like yesterday I was so out of it that my alarm went off, and I'm looking at my alarm and it says 4:20, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm late, even though that's the time I wake up every day. So like usually I'll snooze it for another 10 minutes, but I looked at it and I was like, oh, I don't got time, and I got up and got ready. So then I'm sitting in the kitchen for an extra 10 minutes because I snoozed it, or I forgot to snooze it.
Yeah,
I was so out of it yesterday.
we're in like a snooze like demic right now. Like I can't tell you how many times I hit snooze, bro. Like I just use my phone, you know, and I just like lay my phone down like right next to my head on the pillow, and just like I just like tap a button when when it goes off. I'm just like snooze 8 minutes. I've increased my snooze to 8 minutes now. I have an 8 minute snooze. I'm just like, damn, dude. I still managed to get 3 snoozes in before I feel like my ass really has to get up. But it's just like 5 minutes isn't enough time to snooze, bro. I need 8 minutes.
Damn, that's crazy. Cause I'm up by 4:30 and out the door by like 4:52.
Yeah, man, I can't do it. Like with the traffic right now or the construction, it should only take me about 30 to 35 minutes to get to work, and it's taking me like 45 minutes to get to work now minimum. So it's just like I used to be able to leave the house by like 6:40 and still get to work around like 7:10. You know, like, if I really hauled ass. But now, dude, if I even if I leave at like 6:30, I'm still not getting there till almost like 7:15. It's just like, bro, like I'm not trying to leave the house earlier because it's like I gotta get up earlier, I gotta feed the dog, I gotta shower, I gotta like find clothes. It's just like, you know. And then Callie, bro, it's so hard getting her to eat, man. Like I have to watch her eat her entire meal. She has so much separation anxiety. Like she'll start eating if I disappear or if I go to the down the hallway to like take a poop. Like she freaks the fuck out. She will stop eating and she will come stare at me like as I'm sitting on the toilet. Like, and I have to tell her, I'm like, it's okay. I'm almost done. I'm pooping. And then she'll like run out and then like just kind of hover over her dish until she starts eating again. So it's just there's like too many obstacles in the morning for me to get to work early. Is really what I was trying to say. But
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't have that issue with the dogs because Karen's still here. It's just we have opposite schedules, so by the time I'm going to work, she's kind of like getting into her deep sleep, and then
yeah.
I get home and she's barely starting work. So
Yeah, at least like there's balance though if you want to have a balanced routine, since both of you kind of work more or less opposite schedules. It's just like things are always getting done, you know. When me and Michelle both work the same days, it's kind of hard to set aside time. Like we both have to wait till our days off or till the weekend sometimes. So you gotta value it while you can. Speaking of just like getting things done on our days off, this just happened today. So we had a guy come out to our house to fix the fence post in our fence outside because there's like a big gash in it. So dude was here for like 30 minutes. He showed up at 8 a.m. He had to chop up the concrete for the post and then lay in the new post, and he was gone. He was done in like 30 minutes. I'm like, cool, that was so easy. And then I fucking left the house, came back a few hours later, and there's just like a fucking river running down my fucking driveway from where the fucking fence post was. And this dude straight up like chopped into my fucking water line for my like not the main line for the house, but it was just like for the like watering the plants and shit, like the drip line.
sprinkler, yeah.
Yeah, the sprinkler system, bro. He like chopped into that shit, and I just like I had to call like the housing contractor guy again. I'm like, hey, like your fucking fence guy just like hacked up my fucking water main. I'm like pouring water all over the fucking driveway right now. So now they gotta send another dude out to come fix that shit. I'm just like, this was supposed to be the last thing for my 1-year warranty that they had to fix was the fence. and now they got to send another dude out to fix like the water main, which is just like, I don't even know how complicated it is, because the dude that poured the fence post, it probably poured concrete over the top of where the fucking water main is. So now they got to hack that shit back out again. I just like, I don't even want to deal with it, man. I guess I'm glad they're doing it, but not me. But just like, please, like, get this shit done so that I can just live in my house. I'll fix my own problems from now on, you know? So yeah, side rant.
So your sprinkler line goes underneath like concrete, or
Well,
not concrete, but like cement.
it's because like the water main is on the front side of the house, and then there's like a line that passes like under my fence line to go to the backyard. So it just so happens to be like where the dude like chopped into the concrete. He probably went too deep, or he was too aggressive with like the post placement. And like these little water lines, bro, they're thin. Like they're only like half an inch thick, and it's just like cheap ass like plastic tubing. So he probably like pinched it or like cracked it or some shit when he like laid the post in. But it was enough to like have fucking like water gushing out of it, man. It's just annoying. It's just unnecessary, because we're gonna be gone for like 2 weeks now, 3 weeks. I have to turn off my water main. It means my little scraggly ass bushes aren't gonna get water for like 3 weeks. They're gonna turn into like tumbleweeds by the time we get back, bro. And just like like I don't want to deal with it. Which will probably make Michelle happy, because she thinks our bushes are ugly. So
Yeah, welcome to the club, dude. My backyard is yellow. Everything in there is yellow.
yeah, home ownership, man. It's fun. Fun never stops.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saving on water, but it's an eyesore, so you got to kind of balance it.
Yeah, we'll figure it out, dude. When this year we'll do some landscaping, get some stuff going in the backyard so we can make it more like livable. The wedding out of the way is kind of like the last thing that we have to sort of like focus on, and then we can just kind of like do our thing afterwards. So goals 2025, backyard, get some like barbecue, get some like fire pit, you know, get a gazebo, all that good shit. Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna look nice though, because you have a lot of space back there.
Yeah, it's like, the way I look at it, it's just a blank slate right now. So I don't know. That's why I'm not really that concerned about like having a little like water spillage in the backyard, because just like, it's not like I have a fully landscaped backyard. It's just water that just puddles. So all good, man. All right, let's get into it. We got some topics. First thing on the menu, we're gonna talk about the recent Dr. Disrespect drama, beef, rant. Like, I don't know what you want to call it. Let's get into it, Carlos. Thoughts?
Yeah, so a couple days ago I was scrolling Twitter/X, and I came across Dr. Disrespect's video that somebody cut up. Thank you for whoever cut that up and condensed it. But basically he was just talking about how when things went down last year with the getting demonetized from YouTube and basically losing all his friends and sponsors and blah blah blah. He was pretty much calling everybody out who turned the other way on him, specifically Nickmercs, Dr. Lupo. He did talk about Tim the Tatman and Z-Laner, but he was kind of more forgiving about them, because they pretty much straight out said, like, per allegations, we're gonna turn our back on you. They didn't really call him out on specifically, like accusing him specifically of that. They just said, hey, because of the drama, we're going to turn our back on you. But so I didn't hear what Dr. Lupo said, because I don't watch him and I don't think anybody else watches him. But Nickmercs, being a bigger streamer, he kind of clapped back at Dr. Disrespect. From what Dr. Disrespect was saying is, like, that he was a pussy and just all this other shit. And he was kind of just going off on Nickmercs, Dr. Lupo, the writing, like the news people, like the I don't even know how you say it, the
Dexerto.
Yeah,
Dexerto, which, like, it sucks, because like I do kind of agree with him. Like, Dexerto used to post like just gaming content, like gaming news, And now they're just kind of clout farming for whatever's trending on Twitter, which is like nothing but IRL stuff now. I feel like IRL is like IRL streams of like what defines Twitter. It's hard to find good gaming content, but yeah. Anyways, continue.
So yeah, so Nickmercs came out with the clapback video. He sounded really manly, chewing his gum, popping it while he was talking shit to him. It sounded so dumb, dude. Like the whole gum thing like took me out of it, man. Can you like imagine beefing with somebody and they're just like, you know,
I mean,
like
he's from Miami, right? So
yeah,
he's a
yeah.
Miami girly. Yeah, so I mean, so basically, like what Doctor Disrespect was most pissed off about is he wasn't even so much pissed off about people that wanted to like not support him. I think it was the way it was done, because specifically with Nickmercs, like Nickmercs, I feel like Nickmercs is the one that kind of like made the most out of what happened with the doc. So, you know, according to Doctor Disrespect, Nickmercs and him like know each other a lot more closely than like how it was portrayed. According to Doc, like Nick's, you know, met the family, met the kids, met the wife. They've hung out. They know each other very well. Like Nickmercs was the one that sort of like distanced himself and said like, "Oh no, man, like we're not really friends. Like we've worked out, or I mean, we played together, but we've never like really been close. Like we've seen each other like maybe a couple times, and like he refers to himself as Dr. Disrespect, and he's just kind of keeping it like very, very minimal in terms of like his relationship. So that was kind of like the first thing. And then I supposedly, and I didn't know this, but like Nick went on like another podcast like a week ago or a couple weeks ago, whatever it was, and like it got brought up again. Like he's talking to some dudes at like Barstool Sports or like something like that, and they brought it up. It's like, oh man, like so what, like how do you feel about all the Dr. Disrespect stuff now? And I think this is all just coming up because like now the doc is sort of like back and monetized again. I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of opinions, and a lot of it is just coming down to other content creators just trying to like, you know, click farm, you know, and just kind of like bait people. But like Nick kind of got into it again, and he was just like, yeah, man, like I don't know how you could do that, like with your, you know, knowing that you've got like a daughter and you're married, and like I didn't really know the guy like that, but blah 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 blah. And I guess that's what really like triggered Dr. Disrespect. And it was just like, yeah, like, you know, you've met everybody and you're a pussy. Like you and Dr. Lupo are a pussy. And it's funny because like I don't know like what prompts the doc to just all of a sudden go off, you know, because just like nothing was said prior to that. And like people will probably argue that Doc's doing it just to like get views and trying to like garner more content, which he very well could be, even though he denies it. But it's just like he'll start his stream and just randomly he'll just be sitting there because he's got like his sunglasses, right? And just like he's just like staring at nothing for like a minute, like this, like nothing. And then he just goes,
Yeah.
and then he just goes like, champs, I gotta get this one off my chest, champs. I gotta get this one off my chest. And it's just like, I'm like, what's prompting this shit? You know, just like why? So yeah, that was kind of like the premise of how this stuff started. And then like yeah, like Nickmercs had his response to it with his like chewing gum. I guess Z-Laner had a follow-up response too. Not necessarily from like this specific one, but like after the doc got monetized, and Z-Laner was basically saying just like, yeah, you know, like me and Doc were good friends, and I think he's a good person, and I hope he never does that shit again. But it's just nothing I can associate myself with. So just, you know, taking that stance. But I'll be kind of honest, man. I kind of agree with Nickmercs though. Like, it is a little sleazy. Like I think that Nick and Doc were actually much closer friendship wise than what he makes it out to be. And I get why that would piss off the Doc. He was like, yeah, my people just abandoned me. Like my homies left me. But at the same time, like I understand people wanting to distance themselves, even though the way they did it probably didn't make sense. Nick is right though. It's just like, bro, like you take zero accountability for the shit that you did. It's not even about the fact that you did it. It's about you sort of just sticking to your guns and acting like you didn't do anything wrong. And I think that's the problem that most people have. And that's the problem I have, to be honest, too. So I agree with Nickmercs on this.
Yeah, I kind of agree with it too. And yeah, like as he was talking about, he's like, you know, you got to be a man, you got to take accountability for what you do, you know. And Doc did say on his tweet that, you know, like he was, you know, texting a minor or messaging a minor, or whatever he said. Is like too long ago now.
Inappropriate.
Yeah, he's like
Messaging the minor inappropriately. And we don't even know how old she was, bro. We don't know if she was 17 or 16 or 15. Like, none of that is even known. So it's just like the fact that you admit to something like that and are still acting like you didn't do anything wrong, bro. Like, that's what's crazy to me. You know, like I just don't understand it, bro. Like you're kind of like a sociopath if you're just gonna act like all high and mighty on a pedestal like you didn't do shit wrong. And I think that's what bothers me so much about it, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I do think that Dr. Disrespect is just doing this for, you know, kind of stack up his money again now that he's monetized. I mean, it's been what, 6 months since this happened, and now he wants to bring it up. Just because, you know, Nickmercs said something. I mean, everyone's been saying something for the last 6 months, you know, like it doesn't change anything. But now that you're able to make money off of it, like, you know, go ahead, blow off some steam.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly too, because like we kind of know now that he's a scummy person. His persona as Dr. Disrespect is not even really a persona. Like we're at a point now where Guy Beam and the Doc are like the same person. Like he's not playing a persona. Like this is him. Like he's speaking as himself. And you went from being like one of like the top like pinnacle streamers in gaming to now like, okay, we're gonna strip everything away from you. We're taking away all your sponsorships. You're not gonna be able to play with anybody anymore. You're no longer you're demonetized. You're not gonna make money off of this content anymore. And I mean, like, for somebody that was probably making as much money as he was, that was a huge hit to him financially. And coincidentally, like when he ranted like a few days ago about like the whole like, you know, fuck Lupo and fuck Nickmercs thing, apparently like Rumble was going through some shit. And Rumble was like the big like streaming company that he was signed with that was supposed to be a big deal. And I guess like Rumble was down or they were going through some like serious technical issues. And so it's just like maybe he's in this panic mode. It's like, okay, man, like I need to content farm. Like what do I do? How do I do this? Well, I'm just gonna call out some other streamers right now. So it's like I wouldn't hold it past him to do that as a strategy.
It's a crazy situation. Yeah, I'm not really gonna be watching Dr. Disrespect streams anymore. He's still playing like triple threat shit, like old shit already. Like he's been doing that shit for like the last like 3 years already. And like he can't do it alone. He has to have like Bobby Poff and the other dude that they play with, you know, just to get carried through it. So it's not really entertaining.
That's what's crazy to me, dude, is like I remember watching Bobby Poff and Rallied when they were just blackout players. And like they were kind of on the same level as like Spiros. Like we know Spiros, but like Spiros will never get like the same amount of clout that like Tim the Tapman, Nickmercs, Dr. Disrespect, you know, like Spiros isn't at that fucking level, you know? Like they're like the NFL level type streamers, and then like Spiros is just like JV, like college level or like high school varsity, right? But I feel like that's the level of players that Dr. Disrespect is playing with now, because he can't get big streamers to play with him because they don't fucking want to. And good for them, you know?
Yeah, so I mean that's the news on that. You know, let us know what you guys think about it. If you guys are still gonna be messing with Dr. Disrespect, or if you guys take Nickmercs' side, let us know.
All right, yeah. So anyways, moving on from that, we have been talking about some graphic card stuff. So for the computer nerds that follow our stream, so we've had the NVIDIA cards already drop. Like we've had the 5070 Ti, which everybody's kind of pissed off about. We got the 5080, we got the 5090 that's apparently like melting people's computers and exploding. So shame on you, NVIDIA, for putting out shit stuff again. But now we have the official pricing announcement from AMD for their 9070 and 9070 XT. Don't understand their fucking naming scheme. But now we're looking at their basically like flagship card starting at looks like $599 for the 9070 XT, and we're looking at $549 for the 9070 non-XT, which is a very, very tight margin. Like, I don't know why the fuck they did that. But basically, based on performance that I can see from like early reviews or claims, the 9070 XT is basically slotting itself somewhere between like a 7900 XT and a 7900 XTX. So kind of like right in the middle there for $599. And I guess competitively it's going head to head against the 5070 Ti. So that's what they're saying. So the 7050 Ti dropped at $750, which was bullshit because they're already selling for like over $1,000 on Newegg and like scalpers, which I think AMD's is going to be pretty much the same. They'll probably have like more stock, more supply, but as soon as that supply is gone, you're definitely going to see prices over the $1,000 mark. I wouldn't be surprised. But I don't know, man. Me personally, I'm just kind of like not excited about this generation, you know, as a gamer. What about you, dude?
Yeah, I mean, especially because you're trying to upgrade, so this definitely affects you personally, because you know you are in the market of buying something and you can't buy nothing. So and like I know you're not gonna pay like, you know, 2 or 3 times what it's worth, because it's definitely not worth it.
No, like my upgrade at minimum would be a 5080 level type card. 5070 Ti, like around that like performance would have been like a compromise. It's like, okay, like I just want to be on team green. Like I'm just trying to get on team green to take advantage of the bells and whistles. But I mean, like that would have been absolute desperation, which I'm not there right now. Like my card's still, you know, for what it is, it's still beastie enough. I don't know, man. Like, unless you're on a really old generation, obviously, like any upgrade is a good upgrade. I would say like at minimum, if you're running like a 3070 or like how you were rocking the 5700 XT like before you upgraded, I feel like that would be like the cap, you know, that would be like the cap of just like, all right, man, like I could see huge performance gains out of this new generation of cards. Otherwise, dude, if you bought anything within those like generations, like the last few years, I feel like we're just getting shoveled the same shit like that we got 3 or 4 years ago, man. I just don't see a huge benefit to people dropping like $700, $800, $1,000, bro, unless you're really rocking some old hardware.
Yeah, for sure, man. So last night I tried watching Paul's hardware video where he was talking about just kind of like a summary of what's going on, and I almost fell asleep watching it because it was very boring. Too much information thrown at me. More than half the stuff. Yeah, but it's just all the stuff that he's saying, like I don't understand, like, you know, a lot of the terminology. Like I'm not so into computers on that level like Paul's hardware or you know, like Fat Mike, like what's his name?
Hardware, or not hardware. His name is Steve.
Yeah,
Steve from Gamers Nexus.
Yeah, from Gamer Nexus. It's because we know a guy named Mike and he looks like him, but like a skinny version of him, like exactly the same face.
True.
But yeah, so Gamer Nexus I definitely can't watch unless I'm really trying to catch some Z's. So I watched Paul's hardware, and basically what I got from it is everything is pretty much going into a circle. Like we've gone into a circle the last couple of years, last couple of launches basically. You know, a card's gonna come out. What's supposed to happen is the hardware that's out right now is supposed to go cheaper. It doesn't. It actually disappears more, or it goes up in price, and then when the new GPUs do launch, they're just gone because of bots. and then they get scalped for 2-3 times their price.
Mhm.
So like this has been happening like the last 3 launches, ever since like the 3000 series. You know, basically when the scalping and the bots started happening like in 2020, 2021ish. We've been going through the same thing, and
Yeah.
everything that he was saying just didn't sound fresh. It was just kind of like he was just recycling old videos. Like I felt like I've watched this before.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't really add anything new to it, but you know, he didn't really talk about the 5070 Ti because I guess it was still under embargo. I think it was an old video that I watched, but man, it's hard out there for trying to buy a GPU right now.
Well, there's like two factors I think that kind of like screwed us over. So, first off, there was COVID. So COVID was a huge factor because that like really, really hit supply. People weren't working. You know, things were running out. They couldn't keep up with the supply and demand because everybody was working from home. Like that was kind of like the PC gaming boom of like a recent generation, you know, was COVID. And then once companies saw that people were willing to pay like 100% markup for products, they just kind of like stuck with that game plan, dude. Like companies got greedy and they blame it on inflation. But it's just like your 5700 XT, like the MSRP for that was like 350, okay? $350. This is in like 2019, which wasn't really that long ago. And that card was still very elite for the type of games that it played. Now, granted, the games weren't like that advanced. I would actually argue that the games looked better back then than they do now because I think developers are getting lazy. But $350 from AMD, even though it didn't compete like with the high end of NVIDIA, was still a really good fucking card. And if you compare that offering to where we are now, like modern day, like let's compare this recent card, right? The 9070 XT. The 9070 XT is probably like the equivalent of what your 5700 XT was fucking like 6 years ago or whatever. But now we're paying like $600. You know, we're paying double the cost for like the same sort of like level of performance that we would expect from today's games. It's just greed, man. It's 100% greed. They're pushing like AI and fucking you know, like upscaling and DLSS. I think that's why like benchmarking reviews are just so fucking complicated now, because like they're talking about DLSS and ray tracing and AI cores, and like it's all a bunch of like shit that doesn't really apply to us as gamers. Like I want more fucking frames, bro. I want to go from like playing like 100 frames per second to like 200 frames per second on Call of Duty. Like help me get there. And they're just like they're throwing all this other shit into the mix now to make people think they're getting like some kind of value out of the product when like realistically speaking people don't care about that shit. So shame on NVIDIA, shame on AMD. Even though AMD is probably gonna have like the value like product that, you know, most people should probably get, it's just too fucking expensive, man. And supply and demand sucks.
Yeah, that's our life now.
Yep, that's the world we live in. Just be happy with what you got and buy an AR-15 instead.
or a PS5.
Buy a gun or a PS5.
Yeah, my PS5 has been on my desk and I haven't turned it on in like 4 months maybe. It has like a layer this thick of dust on it.
I have some dust off for you, bro. I've been
Not
putting my PS5 to work, man. I've been playing all my my first party games, you know, like Horizon. I finished Ragnarok. I'm gonna play Ghost of Tsushima after that. It's like I'm gonna put in work, dude, because none of the new shit coming out excites me. So it's like, listen, I'm gonna go make my money back on the shit that I already spent. So I'm gonna go play all my old stuff. That's gonna be me for 2025.
Yeah, I want to do that, but I am addicted to online play, so I don't get that same joy out of playing campaign. You know, right now Marvel Rivals, switch it up with like Warzone or even Apex, which Apex I haven't even played in months, which I don't even think I'm gonna play it anymore.
I actually played Apex probably more recently than you did, and I got so pissed off at it. I'm still gonna play the online stuff though. I'm still gonna play it. It's just like I feel so guilty for not playing my my first party story games. It's so easy to burn like 2 or 3 hours playing fucking Fortnite, man. That game is so addicting with just like the constant repeat of dropping in and dropping in. And it's like at the end of it, I don't feel like I'm accomplishing anything, you know? It's just like I get some good games or I get like wrecked for like a few games and it's just like rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. So that's why I'm kind of focusing more on the first party stuff. But I'll get back into the multiplayer, you know? I'll get there.
Yeah, there needs to be a study on us on how we get so addicted to like online games.
Yeah, it's all the endorphins, man. There's actually an interesting docu series that somebody did on Black Ops and like SBMM, and like it was like the SBMM before they started talking about SBMM, and it was basically how when you start performing poorly in multiplayer, the game will start like giving you W's, you know, to kind of like keep. It's like slot machines. They kind of compare it to a slot machine when you start. Like it's like, okay, like we see you're not doing good, like here's an easy kill, here's another easy kill, oh here's a kill streak, you know. It's just like they kind of keep you like hooked whether you realize it or not. um I don't remember where that video was. It was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look for it because I need to study myself.
Yeah.
Dude, dude, Marvel Rivals is like rotting my brain, man. I know I'm not good at it, but like it's like I have to prove to myself, like, nah, you can get more than 10 kills next time. Like, no, you can play Punisher and get more than like 15 kills. Like, the problem's not you, it's them. You know, like every game I'm trying to prove myself. And dude, like I think it was yesterday, 2 days ago, I went like on a 6 game losing streak, like on ranked, and I'm just like, I'm done, and then I hit next game, and I'm just like, like why, why do I do this to myself?
It's the endorphins, bro. It's the like what do they call it when you get stimulated? Not endorphins. There's another word for it. The dopamine. It's the
Yeah,
dopamine addiction. I'm curious what games they're all playing in the Philippines right now, because like you know, there is PC gaming in the Philippines. Probably not on, like the same like high tier that we are, but I bet you, they're grinding Marvel Rivals in the Philippines. I'll have to follow back with that update, report on what I see overseas. You know,
definitely. You can go over there and show them what's up.
I fucking suck at Marvel Rivals, bro. They were like all into Valorant, man. Last time I was there, like Valorant was like huge. So that's kind of like what their sort of like their core upbringing is, man. It was Counter-Strike. When I like young age, when I went to the Philippines, dude, my cousins were playing Counter-Strike, and that was their shit, bro. And I didn't even know what the fuck Counter-Strike was until I went to the Philippines. So I'm pretty sure that Marvel Rivals is probably gonna be a big deal there in the Philippines, you know. I don't think we need to go any further with this episode. Daredevil did just drop, so there's only a couple episodes out on Daredevil. We'll have to see what's going on with that, man. I don't even have Disney Plus anymore, so I don't even know how I'm gonna watch it. Michelle and I have started watching White Lotus season 3. So that's kind of rolling right now, but they're only 2 episodes in. So we could probably talk about that later on when there's more episodes to digest. But things are kind of weird right now in that series.
Yeah, we started watching that one too, so we're caught up on that.
Yeah, so there's only 2 episodes out on that, 2 episodes out on Daredevil. We will report back as there's more content.
Yeah,
Carlos
definitely.
has fallen asleep, bro.
Dude, that 4 o'clock, man, waking up at 4 o'clock, man, it's hard.
You're gonna have to chop up this episode to cut the dead space.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, so it might be kind of good that we're gonna have like a little break. That way we can kind of let the content like build up, have more to talk about.
Yeah, there will be a lot more to talk about for sure, because like we're gonna have more shows dropping. Like we said, Last of Us is right around the corner. Not a lot of gaming stuff right now, so we'll probably have to wait and see. I mean, most of the gaming stuff is just about like PC hardware, and like I think we're done. I think we're done with that for a while. So nothing to report on that front. and then just movies. When summertime hits, we're gonna have all the Marvel movies, all the other comic book movies drop. We'll have a lot to talk about there. So, all right, I think we're gonna call this episode. Carlos is gonna go take a nap. He's gonna go sleepy time. But we will get back to y'all.
Jumping on Marvel Rivals.
Yeah, play Marvel Rivals. Are you streaming it? You're not streaming, are you?
No.
Stream it, bro.
I'm not trying to blind people with my hideous gameplay.
Stream it, bro. Fuck it. If y'all want more BroTech gaming content in the next few weeks, Carlos is going to be streaming Marvel Rivals. Go check out his stream at Elite X Zombie 24 on Twitch and get more content. But I think we're going to call this episode. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Links in the description. Go ahead and take a peek down there. There's a lot of good stuff down there you can click on.
All right, y'all. So take it easy. We will be back with more content, especially after my trip. You have been listening and watching the BroTech Gaming Podcast. Peace out, y'all. Play the music. Play the outro.
All right.